Hey guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of Carlton Tuning Uncensored, and today we're going to be talking about fresh air remaps and the scam that the tuning companies are using to get your hard-earned cash. So first of all, you take your BMW in for a remap. For a tuning company to find out if it's had a map already, they need to connect directly to the engine ECU, which is located in here. And the reason why they need to do that is because all the tuning tools give what we call in the industry a virtual read. Now, a virtual read is a stock file what's downloaded from the database. And like I said, the key word there is stock. So if they're saying to you that that car's not had a remap and they've pulled the file off the OBD port, they're talking bollocks. And the reason they're talking bollocks is because it's a stock map, and I'm going to show you exactly. So let's go. We've got auto tuner connected up, we've got the car's ignition on, the auto tuner's connected to the OBD port, if you can see, and then we're going to load the software up. So we've loaded auto tuner up. If memory serves me correctly, this ECU is an EDC17C50. So we're going to type in EDC17C50. And it brings up BMW 1 Series. We're going to click the OBD method, and we can see we've got voltage, so we're connected to the car. So we're going to identify the ECU, and there we go, we've got an identification. See straight away, indication that it's been mapped already. This ECU is already patched. But at this stage, we can't see what the cars have done. So we're going to make a read of the ECU. We can see we've got normal read that's grayed out, and VR, virtual read, coming off the database, like I said, stock file. So we're going to read that. We're going to call this BMW test file, and we're going to save it into that folder, which is BMW test. There, you can see it's empty. Click save. So it's going to read that file off the database and put it into that folder for us. And then we're going to check, see if there's any tuning on it. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop our BMW test file into our tuning software, Winolls. So we'll put it in now. So that's loaded in, and now what we want to do, we just want to check the specs of the car. So we're going to go, here we are. So we found the car, it's a BMW 1 Series, and the torque is 400 Newton meters at 1750 RPM. So let's go back to our map, and we'll find torque limiter. There we are. So 1750 RPM, if you can see, set at 400 Newton meters. So we know that that is 1000% stock file. So let's compare this against the tuning file. So let me load a tuning file in. So we've got a stage one here that's it's a plus 35 horsepower, 60 Newton meters of torque. So we'll put that in, and then what we're going to do, we're going to open the same torque map, and we can see straight away the torque set at 480. So let's have a look at that in 3D and see if we can see the difference. So here we are, look. So we can see the bottom, that's the stock map, and the top is the tuned map. You can see the difference there, guys. So what does this tell us? This tells us 1000% that VR, the virtual read off the database, is a stock file. So if you've gone to a tuning company and they've plugged their tool in OBD and said to you that this got a fresh air remap, it's not being tuned. Well, of course it won't. It's got a virtual read, which we know is a stock file. So, just to recap, guys, that ECU is still in the car, it's not left the car, so there's no way we could get a file off that car unless we got it from the server, which you've seen that with your own eyes. And I also proved the point that you couldn't see any tuning in that file because it's an original stock file that comes from the server. Then I put a tune file, and the tune file was created by ourselves, and you can see the differences and how we tell that it's a stock file or a tune file. So you've gone into the garage, they've plugged your car in OBD, they've pulled a virtual read off the cloud, and they've said to you, this car's not tuned. Quite clearly, it's not going to be tuned, it's a stock file. So whether this car, and this car is tuned by the way, it's already tuned, and that file that I showed you in there is actually on this ECU. So even though I've plugged it in and pulled the file off, it's showing stock because it is a stock file from the server. So you've gone in, they've plugged your OBD port into your OBD port, they've pulled the file from the server, they've told you it's not tuned. You've been and paid someone to remap your car, and now you're thinking they haven't remapped it, it's a fresh air remap, when it's not the case. The fact of the matter is, you've potentially been ripped off. And the way to check, ask them to tune directly to your engine ECU. And that's the only way to do it. So guys, the purpose of this video, and I really do hope it helps you guys out, because ultimately that's all we want at the end of the day. But another example of what's happening is, you're going to Fred for a remap, Fred's remapping your car, and your car develops a fault. It could be the same day, it could be a few days, it could be months down the line, and it's developed a fault. And let's say, for example, you visit another company because you're not happy because you've heard a story about Fred. It could be a true story, it could be a false one, but you've heard a story, so you've gone somewhere else. And then this company has had a look at the car, pulled the map off, there's nothing wrong with the tune, but you've got a faulty MAF sensor, or you've got a split boost pipe. So what they say to you is, well, you've got a split boost pipe here that's caused by this map, or they're saying, well, in fact, you haven't got a map on it at all, and you've got a fresh air remap. And this is what's happening in the tuning industry, guys. So beware, it is happening daily, and I hope you don't get stung by it.